Welcome to Chapter 3 of Introduction to ArcGIS Pro titled Adding Data to Pro. In this chapter, we will begin by looking at the best way to add a new geodatabase to your map project. After that, we will add a blank feature class to the new geodatabase. We will also look at other ways to add data to your Pro project, including dragging and dropping from File Explorer and adding data through the Insert ribbon. Let's get started. Okay, back in our mapping project that we set up in Chapter 1, I am going to come over here to the Catalog and Expand Databases. So we currently have two geodatabases saved in this connection. The first is titled Mapping Project and is the default geodatabase that was set up when we first started the project. The second is the Alameda County parcels that we added in the last chapter. Let's create a brand new blank geodatabase. To do this, right-click on Databases and click on New File Geodatabase. You will see a screen similar to this one. We need to select where we want our new geodatabase to be saved at. Let's go ahead and save it in our Mapping Project folder as Solar Data and click Save. Now, when we look in our databases, we will see the new geodatabase listed here. Next, let's add some data to our new geodatabase. Back over here to our catalog, let's expand databases and then right-click on our new database called Solar Data. We are going to click New and then Feature Class. This will open up the Create Feature Class geoprocessing tool. This tool makes it easy to add new feature classes to your geodatabase. First, let's give it a name and alias. Let's call the layer Solar and then underscore and then substations. It's important to keep in mind that for the layer name, we cannot use special characters or spaces. In the place of spaces, we will need to use an underscore. Next, let's give it an alias. This is a name that you will see in your table of contents. The alias can contain special characters and spaces. Let's give it an alias of Solar Space Substations. Next, let's change the feature type from polygon to point. I do not want to add any geometric properties. I do want the output to be added to my map when completed, so I will leave this option checkmarked. Click Next. In the Fields option, we can add additional fields to our output. This is optional, but is a quick way to add fields that will be necessary for editing. Let's add a field called Name. And let's make it a text data type. Now is a great time to add additional fields to your feature layer like status or notes. Let's click Next. In the Spatial Reference option, we can set our coordinate system. You can select from your favorited coordinate system, select from an existing layer, or search for all other coordinate systems. To make it easy, I am going to set the coordinate system for our new layer to be equal to our Alameda County parcels. And then click Next. The next three windows are options that I rarely, if ever, change. They are tolerance, resolution, and storage configuration. I typically will skip all three of these windows. Let's click back to our spatial reference window, and we can actually just click Finish right now. Let's go ahead and click Finish, and this layer will be added to our map as an output. It can take up to 30 seconds sometimes to create a new feature class within our geodatabase. While this is running, I want to explain real quick the benefits of using a geodatabase over shapefiles and folders. A geodatabase offers more functionality over a shapefile such as domains, relationship classes, attachments, and network datasets. Geodatabases are also better for multi-user editing and versioning within a department. I always prefer to save my new and existing layers to a geodatabase when possible. Okay, back to our new layer. When I expand our Solar Data geodatabase, you can see this new layer was also added as Solar_substations. And you can see in the table of contents, the alias is being shown as Solar Space Substations. In the next section, we will take a look at other ways to add data to our Pro project. Back in our Pro project, let's look at three additional ways to add data into our map. First, let's take a look at adding data through a folder connection. In an earlier chapter, we looked at adding a new folder connection. This time, let's connect to a folder that already contains a bunch of different shape files. To do this, let's expand folders and then right-click on folders and click Add Folder Connection. This will bring up a File Explorer window. I'm going to add a folder saved in my Platte River data folder. In my opinion, the easiest way to navigate to a folder is by actually copying and pasting from File Explorer. So I am going to copy my file path and then paste here into my ArcGIS window. That is going to bring me to my data folder. I am going to click once on this Archer County folder and click OK. Now back to my folder connections, I can see the folder for Archer County. I am going to expand that folder. Here you can see all the different shapefiles that are saved within this folder. Remember, shapefiles are saved in folders and feature classes are saved in geodatabases. The easiest way to add this shapefile is to just drag and drop the file into my map. Let's go ahead and do that now. I can also right-click on the shapefile and click Add to Current Map. The next way to add data into our map is by dragging and dropping from File Explorer straight into Pro. Back to File Explorer, I am going to open the Archer County folder and filter on file type. When I scroll down, I can see all of my shapefiles here. I am going to click one of the shapefiles and drag it into my map. This method works well for shapefiles and tables. However, it will not work for a geodatabase layer. You cannot view geodatabase layers from File Explorer. Last, up in my map ribbon is a button called Add Data. If I click on the down button, I can see all of the different options for adding data. I am going to click on the first option, Add Data, and we'll see this window for adding data. From here, I can add this shapefile or navigate to a different folder or geodatabase. I can add all layer types with this option. I will add this layer and click OK. So that is 3 different options for adding data into your Pro project. From the catalog on the side, dragging and dropping from File Explorer, or through the Add Data button in the map ribbon. In the next chapter, we will go into more detail on the ribbons and all the ribbon options.